back to another vlog. So for this vlog, I am planning on making it a reading vlog. You know me, I'm full of BL. And I do plan on reading some of my TBRs, both physical and digital. I actually have a lot, especially digital TBRs. But we are gonna conquer them, hopefully. This is my BGM. I'm actually gonna be changing in a bit to these because I have a podcast call with a longtime friend and we're gonna be doing this podcast together. So yeah, I'm just gonna be changing my clothes to something more appropriate. So for now, we are gonna go through my physical shelf and then later on my digital shelf and see how many I still need to read. So from the top shelf, I think I still haven't finished The Gentleman's Alliance, but I think I'm gonna be skipping this for now. And then manhwa shelf, I've read everything that's on here, so yeah, this is clear. And of course our BL Sublime shelf. Some of these are like oldies. I've started reading when I was in college, like Punch Up and Crimson Spell. But yeah, Crimson Spell is still sealed, but I think I have read this online before, so we can skip that. And then I don't think I've read volume 13 of Finder. I think I did online, but again, I gotta confirm that. And I've read everything here. Twilight Out of Focus. Oh, this is another one of my favorites when I was still in college. Okay, I think I've pretty much read everything that's on here. Now to the light novels, and I did finish reading one of the Otherworld's books, Depend on the Bean Counter, and I do have volume 3. I have this both physical and digital. I'm not sure if I'm gonna read it physically or in my kobo. And then yes, this one I have not read the entirety of it yet. I think I've only read volume 1. And this is a pretty old manga, as you can tell. I bought this secondhand and it's La Esperanza. So yeah, I think this is Shonen Ai pretty much, but yeah. I think I have not read Nagahama To Be or Not To Be yet. I started it and then I haven't finished it yet. But I think I'll read this digitally because I also have this in my e-reader. And then for the Japanese ones, I've pretty much read everything that's on here. And then Shonen, yep, Spy Family and Moriarty. I pretty much have read everything as well. Okay, for shoujo, clearly I've read everything for shoujo. And then actually I've read all of these, to be honest. Okay, so for the mangas, for the mangas I have read everything already. But for the danmes, there are still some that I have not read yet. I haven't started reading The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish, but I will be starting this because it's already completed. I waited for the volumes to be complete before reading it, so since it's completed, I'm gonna be reading it. I also have this digitally. Oh, I only have volume 1 digitally, so most likely I'll read volume 1 using my e-reader, and then I'll be reading volumes 2, 3, and 4. Just the cover is so cute. Physically, Guardian, I haven't read volumes 2 and 3. And then The Legend of Exorcism, I have to start. I want to kind of like wait for more volumes to come out before starting this. Same with Dinghai Fusheng Records, but this is the manhwa version. I have yet to buy the danme version or the novel version. And then of course the Husky and His White Cat Shizun, which I haven't finished yet because it's almost done. You know, volume 9 is out, just 2 more and we're completed. So I'm really trying to be patient with this one. And then of course the Ballad of Sword and Wine, 4 more to go. And yeah, so I think that's it for the physical copy. Okay, so I don't want to pretend like I'm gonna be reading all of the TBRs that I have here because I still have TBRs on my e-reader, so we're gonna go through those as well. But definitely, I'll be reading this. The manga is still ongoing, and I love the manga for this, and I'm so excited to read the novel because this is the last volume. And the anime is gonna come out next year, so I am pretty excited about that as well. Now, moving on to my kobo. I am currently reading Ball Boy Tactics. I'm reading the manhwa for this, and it's just one of the cutest things ever. And since I'm impatient and can't wait for the manhwa to update, I've decided to read the novel since it's already completed. This is how I organize my e-readers. So I have here Danmei reading list, which consists of my TBR. As you can see, I have 50, but I haven't updated this yet. Yaoi manga, shoujo manga, shonen manga. So for Danmei, I do have quite a lot here that I have yet to read, like Astro Blade Rebirth. I'm currently reading Ball Boy Tactics. I'm planning on reading Bloody Moon because, oh my gosh, the manhwa is just so good and I can't wait. I love Dash, the manhwa, so I'm going to be reading the light novel as well. Those are the titles that I'm going to try to read and get through with this vlog. Not saying I can finish everything. Some of them are like thousands of pages, so yeah. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully it goes well. But I think I am gonna start with either I'm gonna continue reading and then finishing Ball Boy Tactics and then move on to the other world's books, depend on the bean counter, or maybe I'll start with this. I'm not yet too sure. I'm gonna decide. So the podcast that I'm gonna do with my friend is gonna be at 1:30 and it's 1:05. I'm just waiting for the washing machine to finish, and then I'm gonna hang the clothes and then prepare for the podcast. So I have my book and my e-reader. I'm gonna put it right here so that I won't forget to start reading later after I record our podcast. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get changed and I'll see you guys later. Is this cozy enough? Yeah, I think it's cozy. I'm thinking of doing this kind of lighting for the podcast when we call, but I'm not sure. Can you see me enough in this lighting though? Wow! I'm getting ready for the podcast. I have my blanket here, my mic ready, and my tumbler. So I think we're going to be talking about anime, of course, manga, BL, I'm not sure. But yeah, this has been one of my longtime anime friends since first year high school. But she lives in Japan now, and she's studying to become a voice actress or a seiyuu in Japan, so I'm so happy for her. It's like one of her dreams. Ever since we were in high school, we would talk about it, and she has a really, really, really lovely voice, and I think she's perfect for seiyuu.
Is this better? Okay.
Okay, maybe. I'm not sure if this is the one that's connected. Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
That's good. Hi. So the podcast just ended. It was like 2 hours, but we had fun talking, catching up. It was like a lot of anime talks. So if you're into that, I think she'll be uploading it on her channel. I'll link it here if it's up by that time. So yeah. So I'm gonna change into my pajamas again, to my comfy clothes, and start reading. I'm gonna try to make the ambience a little more cozy. So I have these lights while listening to some cozy Animal Crossing jazz lo-fi vibe. Currently rereading a few chapters from I was about to say the Husky is White Cat season, but from the Other Worlds books depend on the bean counter before I read the final volume, because I actually forgot some of the things that happened in the second volume, so I'm rereading just some parts, like the last bit, and then I'll read the third volume. You can see my dog over here. Okay, so the Other Worlds books depend on the bean counter is about Kondo Seiichiro, who was accidentally transported into this world because he tried to save this teenage girl from being transported, and then he was transported alongside with her. So these people from the other world summoned the teenage girl because they needed their maiden to help control the miasma in their world, and the maiden is supposed to have like powers and all that, affiliates with magic, and Kondo just tried to save that person and he accidentally tagged along, and that's what he is reduced to within the story. So he is a workaholic. He works from morning to night, and apparently he doesn't have any other hobbies apart from working. Upon being transported to that other world, the people there felt bad for him, and so they were like, you know what, just tell us what you need, we'll take care of you. Is there anything else you need and want? And then he asks for a job, like the true workaholic that he is. His previous job is in accounting. He was assigned to become an accountant. And so that's when the story really starts to move forward, and along the way he realizes that he has zero tolerance with magic, and it actually can get him. So the male lead, who is one of the head soldiers or head knights, and one of the more powerful ones, he takes it upon himself to look after Kondo, and that's when the relationship starts to develop. It's the next day, and it's 12:15. We just had lunch. Hello, testing this microphone. I really like it because it sounds condensed. Does that make sense? Is that the term for it? I am pleasantly surprised that this microphone can connect to my DJI Osmo Pocket, which is what I'm using right now. And yeah, I think I can do sit down videos and use this mic that I got from Maono, and I'm just so excited. Hi, so I am fresh out of the bath, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up like a Pomodoro style, kind of like studying. So I'm gonna choose a Pomodoro video. So this is what I'm listening to. So this is our Pomodoro session while I read. So it's a 60-minute study or reading time, and then we're gonna have a 10-minute break. And then let's start. I'm actually rereading the manga, and then after I read the manga, I'll continue with the novel. I kind of wanted to read everything again from the start, like from the beginning until I get to the last volume of the light novel, just so that I can feel everything again. Beautiful art.
It's a good husky full voice.
Oh yeah, currently starting volume 3. Just finished volume 2, and I really love the part where Kondo says, yeah, I have no romantic interest with people younger than me, and then Arash just like freezes up. Cupie! So we're gonna eat bread and my very delicious egg salad sandwich. I really liked the Prime Minister. I had this like opinion or image of him. Wanted it to be a slight love triangle between Kondo, Aresh, and the Prime Minister. He was kind of like having this internal monologue where he says, I was planning on taking him for myself, and I'm like, ooh, okay, yeah, I hope this becomes like a juicy love triangle.
For this, but now I get to enjoy it as an adult. Not quite sure exactly which one I'm gonna go with. The narrator of our story is genuinely funny. This story.
So I'm back home from a brief like solo cafe date. I did get a few things from Scribe because I found some of my old like hobonichi stuff. I remembered that I had this hobonichi A6 cover. It's an Inuyasha collab one, and I was contemplating whether or not I would get another Hobonichi notebook or the Hobonichi cousin or the Hobonichi weeks for 2026. But then I realized I don't really use up the entirety of my Hobonichis, and I've had used Hobonichis since 2022, I believe, and I haven't like finished any of them. I usually tend to buy another planner, so I kind of want to stop that and decided to just buy a plain Hobonichi notebook. But then I realized that Midori notebooks are cheaper compared to a Hobonichi notebook. So I was thinking of what notebook to put on this A6 Inuyasha cover, because I kind of want to use this as like my manga manhwa reading journal. So I did get a few things from Scribe. I just got this Midori A6 plain notebook. I have a Midori notebook, but it's I think in the B6 size, so it doesn't fit the Hobonichi cover that I have. But I wasn't sure if this was gonna fit, so just in case it wasn't gonna fit, I did buy this plastic Midori plastic cover for the A6 one. And then I just got a new pen. One thing I love about Midori notebooks is this specific paper. Ooh. it's a perfect fit. It's not too thin, it's not too thick. I don't like overcrowding my hobonichis as well, so I think this is just a perfect notebook. This is the pen. I have another pen like this. It's a white one or a cream one, and I use it for my traveler's notebook journal, or my main journal to be exact. Oh yeah. There we go. So I have my manga journal. So reading update. I really love the parts where Arish's cousin realized that his first love was is Gondo. Like, it's this part. It's just so adorable. Quick update. I already finished reading the mangas of the other world's books depend on the bean counter. So I am reading the novel now. But yeah, I'll be reading this today before I go to bed. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with my journal as of yet, or how I'm gonna be doing my manga reading journal here. If I'm gonna post reviews, ratings, or whatnot, like how I felt about it. So I'm still deciding on what to do. So yeah, it's still blank as of now, but I'm excited to use it. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue reading. Okay, so just a quick update. I am still reading the novel, and I'm not yet finished. So far, as usual, I'm loving it. And this is the part where it starts to get intense. And Seiichiro kind of starts to realize his feelings for Arish, and that's always a good time to reread. And I figured out how I'm gonna be doing my reading journal. So I did watch a lot of reading journal like videos to get inspiration on how I want to do mine. And the sad thing is I don't have a printer, so I can't print like the book covers and like rate them when I read them and all that type of journaling idea. So what I did was I kind of wanted to make it like a diary, and like a mini review, what I loved about it, what I'm enjoying so far, where I'm at the book. But I didn't want it to be like super plain, that it's gonna be all words. And again, since I didn't have a printer and I didn't want to cut out any like manga covers or whatnot, I just made a drawing. It's a very, very bad drawing. I mean, feel like, you know, it not being perfect and it being wonky looking is kind of an appeal, you could say, or it gives the journal a bit of character. So yeah, and then this is like the first page. So this is like Seiichiro and Arish. They became like super cute looking and chibi. I just added, of course, the title, the status. So in this case, like the manga is currently ongoing with 5 volumes for English out and 6 volumes for Japanese out, and then the light novel is completed at 3 volumes, and then my rating, and then of course just like a short like review of what it was about and how I like it so far. And then at the back is like my log, my reading log, like what I enjoyed, where I'm at, and the characters I liked. And then of course I'm gonna continue along the way until I finish the book. That's what I plan on doing. And then maybe I'm gonna color the characters that I draw, and for the next manga or book that I read, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I feel like that's like my own personal way of journaling my reading logs. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to kind of move forward with this as well. And of course, my reading. So I think we're gonna continue reading for now. Another development. It's so good. I'm just gonna take a break because sometimes I need a break when reading something and then it becomes so intense and then I feel like I need a breather. I'm just gonna take a break.
突然僕に向かってこう言ったのです。カラオケ行こう。
Good morning. I'm taking a break from reading the light novel, and right now I'm just reading a manhwa that I haven't read yet, but it's been recommended by some of the members of my book club, and it is Lunacy or Madness, but I think the manhwa title is a bit different. And I'm just going to eat. There is a Korean store like near our place, and I got bibimbap and takuan, my favorite kimchi, white grape juice. So yeah, this is my lunch per se. Yeah, but while I'm eating, I'm just gonna be watching Let's Go Karaoke, and I'm already on episode 4. I cried on episode 3. We're gonna continue reading this manhwa, and then maybe after a while, since this is still ongoing, after that I'll probably go back to this. I'm going into this blind, by the way. I have no idea what this is about, and based on the prologue part, kind of feels like there's gonna be a bit of an age gap, which I'm all for as long as the other is not a minor. If you know the complications and everything, but I really like a good age gap story as well. So I am hopeful that this is a good age gap story. If it is, because it kind of seems like the male lead is young at the start of the story. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. I think the story is interesting, but so far, I don't know how to feel about it. I think I'm gonna read something else that's a little bit on the happier side, just so that I could kind of disassociate myself with this for the meantime. Oh my god, I can't wait to see this part in the manga. Currently at, yeah, more than half. Page 6 of 16 for chapter 7. You know, Arash has been kind of pissing me off lately, and he seems to be not in this novel as much. Like, this is pretty much more Seiichiro and the new characters and Camille, the Prime Minister Kagawa. And I have been updating my thoughts, like, in my journal. Yeep! Don't mind the ugly handwriting. But honestly, I can't even show my face right now. I look like a mess. So I'm finally finished reading volume 3 of The Other World's Books Depend on the Bean Counter. And the ending, I did tear up a bit. Not because it was like disappointing or sad, but more like because, you know, that it's over, you know? And the ending did feel a little bit rushed, which was what I was really, really worried about, because they did set the story and the characters, and it seems like there's just so much more that, you know, they could have done and that could have happened without compromising the actual plot. And everything just felt like rushed at the end, like it was time skip after time skip. And not saying it's a bad, it's still really, really good, and I'd still recommend this if you're a BL lover. But yeah, I started reading it physically, and then I read more at night, so I just decided to read it in my e-reader. And yeah, it's still really good, and I really enjoyed everything. I had so many ups and downs, but it would have been more perfect if they kind of stretched it out a little bit and even added more scenes showcasing Arash and Kondo's relationship, and of course the other characters as well, because other characters had a lot of role in this book. Like, to be honest, Arash actually took a step back. It feels like he wasn't as visible as he was in the first 2 volumes. But I am really excited to see this in manga form, and of course hopefully they do animate it, since there's gonna be an anime out. But yeah, that was one hell of a ride. I mean, I did read a few other things in between, which is why it took so long for me to finish volume 3. But yeah, I'm just so happy I finally have this off my TBR and I can proceed with other books, and I'll be making another reading vlog by then. But thanks so much for watching this really long and chatty vlog, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!